Hey guys, how's it going? CoderMan here. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the Ford Bronco and the fact that I actually was able to order it and just a little bit more on the specifics of that. So as you probably remember from my last Bronco video, I was having some trouble ordering what I wanted, and part of this was because of the way that I was speccing it out. And unfortunately, if you read through those comments, a lot of people thought that I was saying that the Bronco had been canceled, which honestly, I don't know how I could make the video any more obvious. I said that my order had potentially been canceled because that's what my dealership had actually told me. And that was the information that they were getting directly from Ford. So as it happens, I was able to make some changes and I was able to actually order it. Now, for my Bronco specifically, I wanted it to be the manual transmission with the Sasquatch two-door. And as it happens, that's simply just not possible for a 2021-2022 model year, at least for right now, due to various shortages in as far as parts go. And then of course, just Ford's kind of limiting it, obviously just because things are hard to get right now. So based on this, I had a couple things to decide. Did I not want Sasquatch, which I really do like? Did I not want a manual transmission, which I also really like? So I kind of really had to just have some trade-offs. And what I ended up doing was upgrading to the 2.7 liter because you can't get that with the manual transmission, which then of course got me the automatic. I then was able to keep the Sasquatch and the two-door variant. So I was kind of able to get almost everything I wanted. I really wanted to get a manual transmission, but like I said, it's not an option. I really don't want to wait, and I'll go into a little bit more about that as far as waiting. But I wanted to get this order in and hopefully get something, as opposed to wait for the next model year. So I decided to opt out of the manual transmission. And them reducing options isn't limited to just the transmissions. There was also things like the roof, being different colors or molded in color and all these different things. They're limiting that for the 2021 model, which again, not the greatest, but you kind of have to go with it. Now, I know if you hop on the different forums, and I'll actually link a couple of them in the description because I found a lot of great information on these, you will see that people are having to make sacrifices for various things. It's not limited to the Black Diamond or the Sasquatch. There's a whole bunch of different combinations just simply aren't possible. So if you're ordering one or you have ordered one, I'd be curious, what modifications have you made to your order that, resulted in you potentially getting one this year? So one thing I did not add into this video, so I want to kind of slip it in right now, is I actually have the list out of what I ended up speccing for this vehicle, and I figured I'd just quickly read it off for those that are curious. The order that I had submitted is for a Black Diamond, which I mentioned, two-door. Comes with a 2.7 EcoBoost engine, the 10-speed automatic, which is why I opted up to the EcoBoost 2.7. I'm gonna have automatic, should have something cool with it. The 17-inch black high-gloss painted aluminum wheels, which comes from the Sasquatch package. The mud terrain 35-inch tires. Not gonna tell you the color because, well, it's YouTube and it's fun to unveil that stuff. It is gonna have the marine grade vinyl seats with dark space gray interior, so it's a washout interior. That's gonna be awesome for honestly just having kids, but if you take it to trails and things like that, also gonna be really great to actually be able to clean it. And then lastly, it has the Black Diamond with the mid package. So I went to, get the infotainment system and things like that. I'll of course use CarPlay. Honestly, I got the mid package for the remote starter and the heated seats because I'm bougie and I live in a cold climate, and ultimately I want warm, toasty butt. That is a fun sentence. And lastly, it has the Sasquatch package. Now in regards to getting one this year, that's a separate thing. So Ford is saying that the summer is still possible, but there's a little bit of back and forth I've noticed on the forums and through some official channels that we should start seeing them coming in. And quite honestly, I'm already hearing people seeing them on the roads, obviously over in Detroit. For the different variants, we're supposed to learn in May, right now, this month, when we're supposed to be getting our actual delivery, or at least an update in terms of that. So I haven't got anything just yet. Today is May 11th, so we'll see if something comes in the next week or so in terms of when I'll actually be getting it. But I estimate probably a June, July if I'm going to be getting a 2021. Just because I modified the order does not guarantee me a this year model, only because they cut down production for, like I mentioned before, the chip shortage, and subsequently other reasons as well. Mainly centered around the, we have obviously, there is a manufacturing shortage across the board. I still cannot get a video card for my sim rig, so I'm running a AMD video card right now, which, no disrespect to anybody that likes them, I personally am an NVIDIA guy, and I just cannot get on board with all of the tweaks that it takes to get mediocre results inside a flight simulator. So I'm really trying to get a 3090, but again, hit by the chip shortage. So it kind of seems like no matter what I want to buy, there's some sort of a chip related issue. And of course it's not limited to me, and these are facts. I'm not complaining, it's just a reality of where we are right now. So I'm sure, like most vehicle purchases, the two most common questions I'm going to receive are: one, am I financing it? And two, what are my plans for it? So let's dig into both of those. I do plan on financing it simply because rates are extremely low, so I can actually offset a portion of it through advertising, like on the channel and things like that. I actually created an LLC specifically for CoderMan for this purpose. So that will offset it a little bit, and quite honestly, rates are super low right now that I would rather have that cash and be able to put it into, say, like an investment property or thing like that. Definitely gonna be financing it, exact terms to be determined based on like trade-in and things like that. No, I'm not trading in the Porsche. I have the Acura, which is my daily. I don't need 3 cars, so I would most likely be trading in the Acura or private party selling it and taking that cash to go buy the Bronco. And in terms of first mod, I don't know 100%. One thing I will say is that the vehicle comes with a lot of accessory switches up on the headliner. So I'm thinking more off-road lights would probably be a really good thing. They look nice and they're actually functional. Maybe a winch, although I feel like that's probably just to throw it on there and say you have one. I've never in my life actually used one. I would say the first mod, and I can't even call it a mod, but the first thing I'm going to be doing is adding a bike rack either to the rear section or on the roof, simply because I can take the mountain bikes out with my son and actually go out and ride, which unfortunately I haven't been doing any of right now. And the reason for that is simply because there's been some changes to my daily life in regards to like work and such, which I will get into in a future video. And then of course I'm flying whenever I have free time. And the reason that that little anecdote is important is why there hasn't been a video for over a month, which I had said before I was not gonna do. But unfortunately, as much as I love YouTube, as much as I love creating content for you guys, this is a hobby, okay? I do get a little bit of money from AdSense, and I use it to upgrade cameras and lighting. But at the end of the day, I cannot do this full time based on what I'm making versus, actually as well as the content that I'm creating. So when I'm creating informative videos like this, it helps people. But if I just create a video on my car or a run or something like that, it doesn't really do as well. It's received well. It's received well by my subscribers and by viewers, but it doesn't translate into something that I can actually market, go to people and say, let me create more of these videos. I am not the Stradman or anything of that nature where I can just play with cars and get paid for it. Maybe in the future, although that's not my goal. I just enjoy making content. It allows me to share kind of what I'm doing in my daily life, or say monthly life, because it's not that exciting. Different hobbies, and then subsequently, fixing things around the house or whatever. It actually helps people so that they can do the same. And I found, like with my fridge video, which actually just hit 1 million views, people have actually reached out to me directly and said, this got me to actually want to do it myself because you made it look so simple. And then lastly, the thing that's been probably taking the most of my time outside of work has been house-related projects. So my wife and I decided to kind of redo our backyard. As you can see here, we're putting in like a fire pit and patio. We got a playground for the kids. That should have been a video in of itself because it's taken 4 days to get it to where you see it now. And there's still more work to do. As you can tell, it doesn't have a roof. I would next time hire somebody to do that because I thought that building IKEA furniture was a challenge, and this just brought it to a whole new level. So there will be more content. I will be creating more content. Of course, I still have the GT4. People have actually reached out to me on Instagram and asked if I'd sold it because they haven't seen it. I have another Instagram page specifically for that car. I decided to kind of split it off. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to follow. And I will be creating more content. In addition to that, I'm actually going to be reviewing a kind of a cool car, hopefully next week or the week after. It's a modified former police car that just sounds and looks amazing. So my buddy Chris has been doing a lot of work on this, and I want to bring that to the channel as I think it'll be pretty unique. And for those that love LS engines, it is loud, it is brutal, and even sitting at idle, you know that signature sound, it has it, and I'm super excited to show you that. So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out these videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.